All right, Graspable Math. Let's get going with Graspable Math. Where's my camera? There's my camera. Let's do some Graspable Math. It's probably one of the coolest tools that's going on right now. So let me show you what it is and how you might use it and all this sort of stuff. So the first thing you're going to notice is when you go to Graspable Math is you are greeted. Technically, I'm going to go to a new tab here, and I'll just go to Graspable Math. And you know I'm at Graspable Math because it says so right up there. Graspable Math. Whoa, bam. So I'm going to click on Explore Algebra, and I am greeted by this big, huge blank canvas. Now, I happen to be logged in. How do you know I'm logged in? Because my name is up there in the upper right-hand corner. And because my name is there, that means I'm logged in. For the most part, in this video, I'm going to mostly go over these buttons right here, mostly the insert, where you're going to insert some expressions and equations, and how to use Graspable Math to do stuff. And then I'll insert some graphing and connect that algebraic expressions with the graph. Transform is when we're actually doing the mathematics, and then the last button that we're largely going to use is arrange. All right, so I'm going to zoom out of here, get rid of that tab, and here's my pre-made canvas. Now, what's the arrange button for? Well, when I click on that arrange button, all of a sudden any of these existing expressions now have kind of an outline box and allows me to move them around and arrange them. I'm going to go back to transform. One of the cool things is this canvas is infinitely large, and it just keeps scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and you can see I've got some expressions that are kind of on top of each other. And so I'm going to just click on that arrange button, and oh yeah, look at that. See, I had a couple of expressions on top of each other, so I'm just going to move them so they're no longer on top of each other. That's a little close, so I'm going to separate them. And oh, look at that. These two expressions are on top of each other, so I'm going to separate them. So now I'm going to go back into transform. Now, transform allows me to simplify. Now, this Graspable Math is called Graspable Math because I literally can grasp the numbers and do stuff. And the power of Graspable Math is it will not let me do something illegal. It will let me do something unorthodox, but it will never let me do a miscalculation or something illegal that's not allowed. So students are more free to play with these numbers. Let's take a look at this 12 minus 8 times the quantity 9 plus 2. If they don't know what they're supposed to do first, like, I don't know, let me add the 9 plus 2. How do you not add 9 plus 2? You just hold the 9. See, I grasped it. Whoa, I'm grasping the 9. I'm going to click done down here. I'm going to grab that 9, put it on top of the 2, and wha-bam, I now have 11. I'm going to undo. What if I didn't want to add the 9 plus the 2 first? Maybe I wanted to distribute that 8. A little unorthodox at this point, but totally legal. So I'm going to click on that 8. I'm going to drag it in, and you'll notice these blue bars are popping up. And those blue bars are saying, hey, something's going to happen here. So I'm going to let it go. And oh, look at that. So that 8 got distributed and became 72 and 16. And if I want, I can click on that 72, put it on top of the 16, and simplify. All right, so I'm going to undo, and let's go back to a more traditional technique. I'm going to take that 9, add it onto the 2. Now, there's another way you could add the 9 and the 2. You could just double-click this plus button, and it adds them together. And again, I want to combine that 8 and the 11. Now, if I want to break the rule, I want to combine the 12 and the 8. It kind of won't let me. Really, all it did was factor out the common term of 4. So if I double-click this minus sign, oh, look at that. As I'm double-clicking the minus sign, it will not let me subtract because that's an illegal move. So what am I allowed to do? I'm going to double-click this multiplication symbol. Well, bam, I got 88. Double-click that minus sign, and I got 76. And I can now see all of the steps right there. Nothing, no miscalculations, nothing illegal. Now we can take a look at this same thing, and I'm gonna go larger here, and I'm gonna kind of zoom in a little bit. Now I'll just do it this way. All right, and so now let's simplify this expression right here. Well, in this case, I'm double clicking on the plus sign, and it will not let me add the 9 and the 2x. Let's see, will it let me distribute that 8? Oh, it looks like it will. Woohoo, I'm going to undo. Will it let me simplify this 12x and the 8? So I'm going to double click that minus sign. No, it will not let me do anything illegal. Gosh, I love that about Graspable Math. So students are free to play with the math, knowing that they're not going to be allowed to do anything that is mathematically incorrect. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 8, I'm going to distribute it, double click on the plus sign. Oh, it will not let me add the 72 and the 16. So I'm going to double click on this minus sign. Oh, it distributed the minus sign. And now let's see. Oh, I want to add this 16x and the 12x. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take that minus. Ooh, see what I did? I'm going to take that minus sign and it lifts up the entire 16x. And I'm going to put it right on top of the 12x, giving me -4. And at this point, there is nothing else for me to do. So now that we're at -4x minus 72, if I want to factor, all I have to do is take that 4 and put it on top of the 72, and it factors out that -4. I'm not sure if it will let me move that to the front. Let's see, can I put it to the front? Yeah, there you go. Done. And there we go. Nice little simplified. Now, because of that infinite canvas, I can keep going, and I'm going to arrange my canvas a little bit and get him out of the way, move him out of the way so I can go infinite, not only infinitely down, but it looks like I can go infinitely across as well. So I'm going to go back into transform. Oh my gosh, look at this big, huge monster of an expression. No problem. All I have to do is see that I have a 5y and a 7y, and I can just grab that plus, put it on top of the 5y, and I get 2y. Oh, let's see. Oh, look at that. I've got a 3x squared and a 2x squared, so I'm going to grab that plus and see how it picks up both the 3 and the 2x. I'm going to put it on top of the 2x, and now I have the 5x. Let's see. Oh, it looks like I can add this. Now, I've got this plus and then parentheses. What happens if I click on that plus? Ooh, it kind of simplifies a little bit. What if I do it again? Ah, there, look at that. Now it turned it into that plus -8x. Now I've got a -8x. I didn't really need to do that, but I can. And then, oh, let's combine that 5x. So I'm going to hold down the shift key and select that 5x. And I'm going to put it right on top of that 8x. And it looks like there is nothing else I can do. So I'm going to put that 5x squared in the front. I'm going to put the 3x there. And look at that. I just rearranged it. So there we go. Moving over, way over here. So I'm going to, let's see, what can I do? How do I make space? Let's click the arrange. I'm going to move it way down here. I'm going to create some space. Let's create some space. So here's my expression that I want to simplify. So again, I clicked on that arrange, move stuff around. Now I'm going to click on the transform button, and now I have x minus 3 times the quantity 2x plus 7. I don't know. Let's see what's going to happen. So I'm going to take this x and I'm going to drag it over here. No, it will not let me do anything. Look at that. It will not let me. So I'm going to see what happens if I select this entire thing and then put it inside. Ooh, it lets me put it inside. So I've distributed that x minus 3 into that 2x plus 7. And so now I'm going to hold down the shift key, grab that 2x, distribute it inside. I'm going to grab the 7. I'm going to hold down the shift key and highlight that 7 and distribute it inside. So I'm holding down that shift key. That seems to be super important. Look at this. I've got this weird 2xx. What happens if I just grab that 2x and put it on top of the other x? It gives me x squared. Look at that. Uh-oh, I'm starting to run out of room. No problem. So I'm just going to go up here, click on that arrange button, and get stuff out of the way. And I can go back to that transform so that I can then resume my simplifying of this foil thing right here. Oh, looks like I can grab that 7x, put it on top of the -6x, and I am officially done. So there is my foil right there, which is, of course, not foil. It's called the distributive property. That's it. I just multiplied. Okay, so let's go over here, and I'm running out of room. Kind of my planning didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. That's okay. So I clicked on that arrange button. I'm moving stuff around, and then this is going to be the grand finale. So I'm going to get these way down here out of the way. Okay, so now I'm going to go back, click on that transform button, because now I want to solve an equation. So far, everything we have been doing has been simplifying expressions. Now we're going to solve an equation. Here's a nice multi-step equation. Let's see, what am I going to do? Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to distribute that -3. So I'm going to use the shift key, here's my finger, to hold down the shift key. Let me get off of it. And I'm going to hold down the shift key, and then I'm going to select the -3, and I'm going to whoa, wow, that's interesting. It does not let me distribute that 3. So it looks like the -3. Looks like all I can do is distribute the 3. Fine. I'll distribute the 3. Then I'll double click on that minus sign to distribute the negative. Nice, look at that. So I'm going to combine the 8 and the -6. So I can hold down the shift and the -6, turns it all blue. Or I could have just grabbed the minus sign. I think that would have, yep. And then I'm going to put it on top of the 8 to simplify. I'm going to move that 2 onto the other side. So I'm going to grab that 2 and move it to the other side, and it becomes -2. And double click to simplify. Now to simplify that -3, I'm just going to, I did a shift and select right there. And I grabbed that -3 and I move it over, which is divide by -3 and simplify. And there is my answer of -4. Now I'm going to show you something unbelievably cool. So, with this, notice as I mouse over, I get these dots right here, these circles. I'm going to go to the original expression and just grab that dot and drag it over here. And I'm going to use my arrange button so that I now have a copy of that original equation right here. Now, we're claiming the answer is x is equal to -4. So let's check our work. Now, the students hate checking their work, but they don't have to check their work or hate it anymore, because all we're going to do is we're going to grab this -4 and we're going to insert it into the 4 over here in that copy of our original equation. Check this out. I'm going to double click these internal parentheses to get rid of them. I'm going to double click the plus to combine. Double click the minus to the multiplication to multiply, and I now have 8 minus -6. Double click that minus sign, and sure enough, double click the plus sign. I get 14 is equal to 14. There it is. 14 is equal to 14. So we have we have checked our work, and it was not any extra effort at all. Okay, so now if I want to, I don't know, let's solve this other equation. Ooh, this equation has variables on both sides. So I'm kind of moving it over here, giving myself some space, and then I'm going to put it right there. Awesome. All right, so what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to hold down the shift and grab that 2 in the x. I'm going to move it over to the left. I'm going to put it right there. What? Bam. I'm going to grab that -7, move it over here. Double click the minus, double click the plus, grab that, oopsies. I'm going to hold that, oopsies, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to hold down that shift key, grab that -7 or -7 and drag it over here. And look at this, I get, the answer is 6. How do I check my work? No problem at all. Remember, all I have to do is grab that circle on the very original equation, grab it, put it right here, use my arrange key to kind of get everything back to where I want it. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's not the original equation. Look at that. So I'm going to grab the arrange button, and I'm going to X out what I brought over by accident. Click on the transform again. This time I'm going to get the original equation. There it is, right there. See, that's the original equation. I'm going to grab the 6 that we think is our answer, and I'm going to put it up here in the X, and every X gets replaced by a 6, and now it's just double click on, or click, I guess, double click on the minus signs and the multiplications, and I'm simplifying. I get negative 37 on the right is equal to negative 37 on the left is equal to negative 37 on the right. Therefore, we know our answer is correct. So all of a sudden, it becomes super easy for students to check their work because they don't have to do a whole bunch of unnecessary mathematics. It's really straightforward and easy. Okay, so here is the kicker. What if we have a system of equations? And I want to solve this system of equations. Well, I'm going to go to that insert button, and I'm going to insert a graph. And it's going to give me a blank graph over here, and I'm going to click the arrange button and make it just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to grab that lower right-hand corner, and there it is. There's my graph right there if you want to see it. Now, I'm going to go back into transform. Check this out. This is so stinking cool. I'm going to grab these dots. So this dot indicates the 2x plus 4y is equal to 40. And I'm going to grab that dot and I'm going to put it into the graph. And there it is. It just got graphed right there. What? Bam. Equation 1. And then I'm going to do the same thing with x plus y is equal to 24. I'm going to click on the dot, drag it over to the graph. Well, oh, I don't see anything. Where is it? Oh, I have to zoom out. And then, what? Bam, I can see where my answer is right there. Now, I have no idea what that answer is. Oops, if I click on it, it tells me 28, negative 4. Let's see if that truly is the right answer. Let's find out. So what am I going to do? Well, let's simplify. So I'm gonna substitute. I'm going to solve through substitution. So I'm going to take this x, I'm going to move it over to the right side. I now get, let's use my arrange button and get the graph kind of slightly out of the way. So I now have y is equal to 24x. If I want to drag it out, and I can see it right there. And what I can do is I can take that y and I can, right there, insert it in. And so, isn't that cool? I'm going to make this smaller so we have a little bit of wiggle room. Use my arrange button so that I have a little space. And so all I did was I took that 24 minus x and replaced it with the y and the original equation over here on the left side. And now on the left side, I'm just going to do some algebra. I use the distributive property. I'm going to grab that 4x and combine it with the 2x. It was actually a minus 4x. Combine it with the 2x. I'm going to grab this 96 and move it to the opposite side, which becomes minus 96. Click on that minus sign so I get negative 2x is equal to negative 56. And I divide by that negative 2x and I get x is now equal to 28. So all I have to do to find out, so what is, I'm going to get my arrange, and again, I'm going to move my little graph a little bit because it's in the way. Move this equation right here. Good. Go back into transform. And so what am I going to do with that 28? Well, what I'm going to do with that 28 is I'm just going to, I'm going to take that 28 and I'm going to insert it back into this original, undo. There you go. I'm going to arrange it, yikes, into that original equation right up here. So I'm going to take that 28, stick it in here for the x. Where is it going to let me? Oh, it won't let me go here, but it will let me put it down here. Well, bam. So y is equal to negative 4. So x is equal to 28. Y is equal to negative 4. Now, if I really want to know if I'm correct, I'm just going to go, I'll just show you what I did. I'll hit cancel. I went way up here. I'm going to insert a math expression. And my math expression right down here is going to be super easy. It's going to be x comma y. And I'm going to click done. So there's my oopsies. right here. And there is my expression. Now check this out. I'm going to take this 28 and put it in for the x. I'm going to take this -4, put it in for the y. I'm going to click these parentheses to make it look like a more normal, graph, or a point. And I'm going to drag it into the graph and watch what happens to the graph. Well, bam, a dot shows up right there. There it is. So my 28, comma -4 is this point right there. So I know I did it right. Graspable Math, unbelievably cool. It helps my students have fun with algebra, knowing that, and they're more willing to do math because they know they're not going to do anything wrong. They may just do stuff in unorthodox ways. It opens their minds and allows them to experiment. There's just so much to this, and I've only barely scratched the surface. I hope this was reasonably worthwhile, and if you have any other questions, put it in the chat box, in the comment box down here. And hey, by the way, don't forget, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll make videos for you. So just tell me, what kind of graspable math do you want to see?